The Royals men's basketball team is back at it on Saturday in Greenville, Tennessee versus Tusculum. Third game of what has been a hectic week. And Coach Bart Lundy joins us once again. Coach, the outcomes have obviously been in your favor so far. You're 15-0. You've won the first two games of the week versus two very prominent opponents, specifically Lincoln Memorial. But we've been talking all week about how emotionally and mentally taxing this process can be. 3 games in a matter of days. From the day-to-day of it, how do you feel your team is handling it?
So far, I would say they're handling it exceptionally well. We'll see how we show up on Saturday, but they're getting their rest. They seem to be taking the treatment and taking care of their bodies in the right way. They're getting to class, getting to sleep at night. So I think all that goes into being able to handle long stretches of games and practices. So far, so good.
People don't realize a lot thrown at them. It's the start of the spring semester for classes as well. Tusculum is one of the longer bus rides in the conference out to Tennessee. For you as a coach, is there any way to prepare for moments like this where things just get all jumbled up in a matter of days? And you didn't have much of an awareness for it. It was a postponement that happened last minute.
Yeah, I mean, you build habits, and we like to say it's not what we do, it's how we do it. We're not extremely complicated, but what we do, hopefully we do it well. So when you have a one-day prep for an opponent, we had a one-day prep, really one shoot-around prep for Lenore Ryan. You emphasize, okay, we've guarded this stuff before. This is how we're going to guard it, and they've already got those habits in place, and they know what we're doing. They know, how we're closing out, where we're keeping the ball away from, whether we're digging in the post or not digging in the post, and hopefully those are quick adjustments because of the habits you've already built.
Well, it worked effectively. A 22-point victory on Wednesday night. In the second half of that game, we started to finally see again the athleticism and the flashes of brilliance from Daniel Camps. Now, he hasn't fully reintegrated himself back into the lineup since returning from the injury at the start of the second half of the season after the holiday break. It leads me to believe that your team could play even better, despite being 15-0 and the third-ranked team in the country. Is that the case? Can they be even better than what you're seeing now on the floor?
Well, yeah, I think not only Camps, he's really only practiced 7 days of real practice, but also you've got Mike, Ike, Jalen, Van Weezup, the freshmen that are Daniel Carr, Rob Whitfield, all those guys are still growing together. It's not like this is a veteran team that's played together for 3 years. So, and it can go either way. They could start to nosedive on us, but we anticipate that they're going to continue to grow, and having a healthy Camps in that mix, just makes everybody better.
Yeah, it's amazing. We talked about it last week, 11 new faces to your team and what you've done so far and how quickly the success has come. Let's talk a little bit about Tusculum. This is a team that's around about 500 this year, but always can pose a threat. Last year, caught you in the final game of the regular season at their place. Close game, they pull out a victory. What do you see from this year's Tusculum team?
I think they're better than they were a year ago. They've got 3-4 seniors that have been there their entire careers, who've all played for their entire careers. They shoot the ball exceptionally well. They've got mounts inside that gives them a post presence, and they're really good at home. I think they're 5-1 at home. So it's not a game where you can take anything for granted. It's going to be difficult. Third game, 5 days on the road, a hard trip. So we've got our work cut out for us.
Last year, I remember you keying specifically on Chase Mounts. It was a big personal battle versus Sean Morgan, and at least in the game that I saw here at the Levine Center, Sean got him pretty good. And Mounts was one of the best big men in the league. This year, scoring-wise, his production is down about 3 points per game, but they have different weapons. They have Kendall Patterson, Ronnie Baylark, both averaging over 15 points per game. who's the bigger threat, or is it more of a combination of both inside and outside that you're worried about going into this one?
For sure, a combination. The fact that they can surround him with 4 shooters. I think the reflection in his numbers really is that they're a better offensive team than they were, a more consistent offensive team than they were a year ago, and maybe they aren't having to roll it down to him to rely on his baskets quite as much. So you've still got to guard him inside, but they've now got 4 threats on the perimeter that can all score. So it makes them very, very difficult to guard.
The last bunch of games have taught us anything. No game, no victory in the South Atlantic Conference is easy. Queens versus Tusculum on Wednesday in Greenville, Tennessee. We'll have the live audio play-by-play coverage for you on queensathletics.com/Royals Live. Coach Bart Lundy of the 3rd-ranked team in the land. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Phil.